Here's a question for you. Do you think that giving someone a full, unrestricted admin account is a good example of a just enough admin approach to least privilege? Well, you might be surprised to learn that IASME, the accreditation and certification body for the UK government Cyber Essentials scheme, states exactly this on their website. The UK Cyber Essentials standard was designed as a means to ensure that small to medium-sized businesses followed security best practice to protect themselves and arguably society as a whole from the ever-increasing risk of cybercrime. So this is a good thing. However, in relation specifically to endpoint privilege management, the standard was written on the assumption that such solutions were out of reach, both in terms of cost and complexity of the typical SME. And as such, a simpler requirement for compliance was created: non-privileged, privileged account separation. So don't get me wrong, allowing a user to browse dodgy gambling websites whilst logged in as a full admin is a very bad idea. And of course, using a non-privileged account for web browsing and a separate admin account for privileged actions is much better. However, this approach clearly represents the very lowest you can set the bar for achieving the most basic level of privilege management. This is not least privilege, this is least most privilege. And for the auditors out there who think that telling customers all they need to do to pass Cyber Essentials Plus is to provide all users with a second admin account, I've got news for you. Suggesting this breaks both ISO 27001 and 27002 if access to those privileged accounts are not fully managed, for example, with an approval workflow that provides controlled just-in-time access to privileged accounts. At Admin By Request, our position is clear. 1. The use of any account that has standing privileges should only be permitted in exceptional circumstances, and they should never be used day to day, even as a second account. When fully privileged accounts are needed, they should be delivered just in time and work one time only with full auditing, just as Admin By Request EPM's break glass solution does. 2. Admin By Request EPM has multiple configurations that can help your business pass Cyber Essentials Plus audits. A recent report from highly respected security agency Nordic Defence states that after their forensic testing, Admin By Request EPM was found to perform account separation in its default configuration. And 3. If you want to use an additional second account to perform privilege elevation with Admin By Request EPM, this is also easy to configure, although this will create extra work on your side as you'll need to manage two sets of credentials. And unlike the IASME Just Enough approach, which recommends using a second fully privileged account, with Admin By Request your second account is non-privileged and so has all the controls, restrictions, meta defender protection and auditing that an Admin By Request enabled account provides.